Good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Radio, or of Squared Circle Society, brought to you.
It said like 20 seconds. It's been 20 seconds.
Brought to you by the Winter Hat Association of America.
Since you brought it up, I looked up winter hat on the dictionary, and it said no results. I looked up beanie, and the definition is a small closed-knit, closed-fitting hat worn on the back of the head. Says nothing about winter. Eat a dick.
Okay, but did you check Urban Dictionary?
Yeah.
Winter hat.
No. Okay, no. No one on Urban Dictionary is going to fucking say. Wait. Shut the fuck up. You tell me one fucking urban person who's ever said, I'm going to go put on my winter hat and go shoot up some motherfuckers. Shut the fuck up.
I didn't say I was going to shoot up some motherfuckers.
What?
I'm saying it's a winter hat.
I'm looking up right now. Winter.
So you're saying winter hats do not exist, is what you're saying.
Oh, sorry, we couldn't find winter hat. It literally has that little typed out thing with the guy with his arms up and the weird face. It says, sorry, we couldn't find a winter hat.
That guy is from California. Back east, they may refer to it as a winter hat.
Beanie.
I think
beanie
sounds less street than winter hat. I mean,
a beanie
come on.
is usually
beanie.
They're
little
is usually
stuffed animals that kids play with, Todd. That's what a beanie is.
It's also a small amphetamine speed-related pill. I just took some beanies so that I could run faster after I robbed this place.
Well, there you go.
So it was winter hat or winter cap that you were calling it?
Hat. A cap is, baseball cap.
Do you
wait. No.
Damn it.
So you think there's a difference between a hat and a cap? Sorry.
Stop
Go ahead,
Ozzy, Todd.
I was going to say, do you call a condom a summertime party hat?
You can.
Again, Ozzy, just remember, he thinks his hat looks cool.
Okay. Well, anyway,
cool.
I think the reason Todd's angry is because you're going to get arrested for saying winter hat. So be careful.
Yeah, that's some John Wayne Gacy shit. I was wearing my winter hat with the little boys. Let me ask you this, Dan. Do you ever wear your hat at night?
Todd. Yeah,
okay, just to cut. This is a wrestling podcast to anybody that's listening to this for the first time.
Yes.
This is a wrestling podcast. Just need to point that out.
He wears an Outback Jack hat, and Brock Lesnar comes out in a beanie from time to time. There, I brought it back. Now we can talk wrestling.
There. Yes, let's talk wrestling.
Or we could have just said that Todd was doing his best Brie mode impersonation.
I learned it from watching you.
He was.
Shut the fuck up.
Todd's got his beanie tied too tight. Little bitch, Todd. God damn it. Fucking beanie.
Either that or a summertime party hat.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah, that would do it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, come on.
All right. Let's steer the ship back since Todd had his period. All right. So where do we start? Well, it's been a pretty fairly busy week in wrestling. We've got a lot coming up this weekend. All right. Well, I know what we want to kick it off with first because I just saw Ozzy's Slack response to me. All right. So, Raw.
Yeah, I know. Don't you hate when he speaks for us? Where's the cycle of Dan?
Well, all right. Let me just say my opinion first.
Yeah, okay,
the last two Raws, for me, I think the audience doesn't know what we're talking about, Todd. I have to educate them. Shut up, Todd. All right.
If they read the description.
For me, were, I think, pretty good. Now, I think 2 weeks ago it was better. But for the modern era, I would say the last two Raws have been pretty damn good. And we can feel Paul Heyman. Yes, I'm not really into Seth Brock, but already set up. So what are you going to do?
You lost me when you said for the modern era, because that means, yeah, it's still kind of shitty, but it's not really shitty.
No, it wasn't shitty. I didn't have any. I wasn't looking at my watch. There were a few questionable booking decisions, which I will also say. I'm sure maybe they match what Ozzy had an issue with. I don't know, but generally speaking, I wasn't bored out of my skull. So over the last couple of years, I'd say these Raws were actually really good. So, Ozzy, what was your big issue? Well, I guess you did say Raw and SmackDown, so maybe you didn't have as big of an issue with Raw, but I think we can all lump Raw and SmackDown in together somewhat. What did you think? What were your issues?
Here's what pisses me off is you advertise a contract signing. Oh, we're going to see Miz and Dolph, sure, again, but this is what you're pushing the whole night. Oh, no. Like 6 days before your biggest event of the summer, we're going to roll out a 60-year-old over the hill, didn't have a good match, and we're supposed to be excited for this pay-per-view. And you know what worries me? Here's what really worries me, is that this will be the nail in Dolph Ziggler's coffin, because he has been burying Goldberg so much, and just how Goldberg had his last match, I just don't see. Now, I could be wrong. I just don't see Goldberg laying down.
Yeah. Well, that does factor into a topic, which we might as well get into. But all right. Well, here's my thing with the contract signing. Nobody cares about. I don't think anybody cares about another Miz and Dolph match. Now, not that they don't have good matches, but I thought I saw somewhere that they've had like almost 30 TV matches, single matches. It's not even counting, tag stuff. I've seen every form of that feud. That it's like Cena Orton. I've seen it. There's nothing that those two are going to do that I haven't seen. So I knew he wasn't going to be wrestling Miz, especially when they announced it as the main event. Now Goldberg.
No.
Yes,
I don't mean to. I'm so sorry to cut you off. I don't mean specifically Dolph versus Miz. I mean what the deal is that you've spent the past 3 weeks building a feud between these two guys, and you're telling the fans 6 days before the event, hey, we're going to see them in the ring together because we've been building this heat between them. And then, no, all of a sudden it's some guy who the only heat's been built is that he's mentioned his name twice on TV, just mentioning how bad he was. And then we don't even hear anything from Goldberg on the mic. He just says, you're next, but, I mean, come on. I need something more, It's so just, it was just boring. I forwarded through thinking there was more to Raw, and that's how it finished. That's really. But anyway, but continue on.
I don't get having HBK out there because that's a match I would be much more enthusiastic about. That was my issue with it because I was like, okay, Goldberg would be number 2 only because another Miz match with Dolph. I don't care. But yeah, well, here's the thing about this though. I don't think we have to worry about a Dolph Taker thing because frankly, this is probably going to be what everybody expects. I doubt it's going to go more than a few minutes, and Goldberg's basically going to destroy Dolph. Now, I think we've talked about Dolph on this show, and I think we've all agreed that not due to no fault of his own, great wrestler, he's just been booked to a point that you just don't give a shit anymore. Now, conventional wisdom is that he's going to get squashed. He could get squashed in 10 seconds, and honest to God, it wouldn't surprise me. But is there any way, just say 1 in 1,000 shot, Dolph beats Goldberg, they let him go over, could that elevate him back to some important spot again? Could it do it? Because it would be shocking as shit if Dolph pinned Goldberg. Again, I don't think it'll happen.
Only if it means he gets to fight Shawn Michaels at Survivor Series.
Oh, there you go.
And then he's built as like a more legit legend killer because, I mean, I know Randy Orton did it, but it just didn't seem too genuine because he was so young. It didn't seem believable. But with a guy like Dolph who's been around forever and done everything, it would make more sense that he would just be a guy that could easily show how much better he is than these legends. And if he's going to wrestle any legend, he needs to wrestle Shawn Michaels because that's like ever since he started using the Sweet Chin Music and then I think even used the same belts as, or not the belts, the boots, the same boots as Shawn. Like,
yeah.
I mean, come on. Like, there's something there. But doing Goldberg just, I don't know, it seems like a sorry attempt to save face for Goldberg so that way he doesn't have let down fans or whatever. And anybody listening that's a huge fan of Goldberg and is getting pissed off by what I say, listen, do you want me to lie or do you want honesty? I mean, I would prefer honesty. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, again, if Dolph is what he is now, and unfortunately that's what I think is most likely. He's just a guy with some name value that's going to come in for, short little runs here and there and basically put people over. I don't necessarily have an issue with it. It's kind of like a whatever to me because it's just going to be another Goldberg match. I don't think it's going to be a competitive match, but, if anybody could carry him to a good match, it'd be Dolph. I don't think we have to worry about him spiking Dolph on his head. He's a relatively light guy, so I think he can make Goldberg look halfway decent. Though I would love to see him go over. I really would because I think it would be a huge shock considering the deuce that Goldberg dropped in the ring in Saudi Arabia. I don't even think he would agree to come back and lose after that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe ego's not what it used to be, but I don't know. Todd, I know you hate Goldberg, but what do you think? You think it would do something for Dolph to actually get the win, to put him back on track?
I don't. I'm with Ozzy on this. I think he already said it. I have zero interest in this.
Because the only thing that was built to it was two fucking lines for a SummerSlam match. That's what I'm most pissed off at. It's not the fact that it's Dolph. It's not the fact that it's Goldberg. I'm pissed off because you're going to build this match as like a big, huge match because it's Goldberg and you fucking said his name twice. And you advertise him 6 days before. Like, what the fuck? I don't get it. I mean, wasn't it Jim Ross that said, or no, it wasn't Jim Ross. Who was it that said, like, we gave Goldberg the title in a match that was announced that night when if that was a pay-per-view, we would have made tons because the buys would have come in and it would have seemed more impactful. But instead, it was Hogan versus Goldberg announced on the Nitro night of. And this is what happens when you just hotshot stuff. It's like it loses its impact.
Yeah. One thing I will say for it this year, it doesn't seem like they're stacking SummerSlam to the absolute hilt. Now, who knows? Like, I knock on wood because they might add like 5 matches at the last minute. But we haven't officially had a Roman Reigns match announced, which good because that feud, the Daniel Bryan thing, to me is still developing. You don't need to do it yet. You've got, plenty of marquee stuff right now for, debatable, but, you have feuds that actually have some build.
I think Todd's getting upset. Did you need to say something, Todd?
No.
I hear you huffing and puffing.
Oh, my bad.
That's because he found winter hats, and now he's
no.
got a hair up his ass.
I want Dan to find me winter hat anywhere on the internet. I'm putting it into Google.
Go for it, Todd. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, the thing with Goldberg. Shut up, Todd.
When I Google winter hat, I get the fucking hats with the ear things on the side and the little flap that comes up in the front, like cousin fucking Eddie wears.
Still a winter hat, Todd.
That's a fucking winter hat. I'm not even arguing with that one.
Fuck you, Todd.
I never knew Todd felt so passionately about fashion.
No, it's a fucking beanie, not a winter hat.
Todd is like human roulette. It's either a red shirt or a black shirt. Nothing against it,
Pretty much.
But I mean, come on.
Pretty much. Can we just call this the Flesh Wound Radio Squared Circle Society wild card rule, where our fights just sometimes carry over, but we have to limit it. We have to limit it to 3 fights. We can't pull a Vince and contradict that like the first show. So there you go. There you go. That's the one wild card.
I let it go, but Dan had to bring it back. Him and his stupid fucking hat is going to get shitted in about 2 months.
Fuck you, Todd. All right. Now, I'll be... Any love... Now, this is one match. Irregardless, I know Todd has a hate on for one of these guys, but...
It's regardless, by the way.
Whatever. Fuck you, Todd. Rey Mysterio and Andrade. Those two have magic together. How is that not on this card right now? Because holy shit, that was another great match on Raw.
That should be on 205 Live.
Oh, dude, that was a good match.
Andrade hasn't impressed me since he's came to the main roster.
He has great matches all the time. I get Mysterio for you. What is your issue with Andrade?
He hasn't impressed me since he's came to the main roster.
Well, they
Sorry,
haven't
Dan.
used him like
yes,
they could,
which is why he hasn't impressed me since he's came to the main roster.
All right, so you're saying it's not him, but he's been great in the ring. Ozzy, back me up. You love Andrade. Come on.
I do.
Yeah,
I mean, like, now here's why I do. Because there's like a kind of immunity with him where I'm able to forgive him for his finisher because I love his hammerlock DDT, side rush. Like, that is such an awesome, like, fuck yeah. Like, I love it. And then the knees to the face, like, that's a good progression because it's both work on the head. So when he hits the finisher, the guy should be knocked out. And the fact that he's holding one arm behind him and sweeping out his legs, I mean, that's cool. I like that.
It is.
Now, I do agree.
It is.
He probably should have a title run because, I mean, demasking like an old Rey Mysterio, it's like, you know, like, talk about stuff we've seen before. Not like, I'm not talking about Rey being demasked, but it's like, here's a young upshot, hot up-and-coming guy faking out another legend that we've seen a few times already, so he's kind of back, but he's still a legend. Like, it's one of those hybrids. But, you know.
Well, you heard at WrestleMania that Vince nixed a mask versus hair match with Mysterio and Andrade when they had a pretty hot feud going. I do not understand why we didn't get that match, but I guess.
Because either result would suck.
Would it, though, for Mysterio? I think that would be a huge rub to Andrade. I think so highly of Andrade. He would be my pick to take the belts off Kofi. Maybe, I don't know, it'll take a few more months, but maybe at the Rumble. I don't know. But I wouldn't have any issue with Mysterio losing his mask again. It's happened before.
Doesn't mean it was good.
You got the Filthy Animals. That was a decent WCW run.
Did he just say Filthy Animals were good? Dan, you just lost all fucking credibility. I'm done. I retire.
The Filthy Animals were cool, Todd. Billy
okay, again, you know what, Dan?
I know you run the board, but we should really play the Breen mode music here. Because it's Todd mode. Holy shit.
Oh,
Todd,
really? Did you literally hear what he said?
He
yes,
hates
I
little
heard
guys.
him, but like
he said, filthy animals were good.
They
so you're
were.
gonna let him besmirch and ruin this podcast instead of fighting for good content? How dare you?
Yes, Todd. I'm sorry you were a no-limit soldier guy. I know you love the Master P group, but I say Filthy Animals better. That's what you like, Todd. Just washed up old
again,
guys.
Here's my thing. Holy cow. Okay, Let's relax. Take a breath.
Yes.
He said Philly
Pop
Animals
in
were
some
good.
Xanax. I'm kind of neutral on them. I think it's because I'm Hispanic. There's like some forgiveness there when it comes to certain things. Oh, whoa. Okay. Perdóname.
I'm Peter,
if you even know what that means. That's why I just said right now, perdóname, if you know what that means. Because you say yourself that you don't even speak Wiener. So
I don't
come on
speak
now,
Wiener.
give me a break. Anyhow, my whole thing about Ray, if at this point he hasn't been demasked already, he should just not be demasked at all because that window's been closed. So it would really kill his whole thing. But if he was demasked now, they could have done it a few years ago. But
I have a feeling since he wants his boy to be a wrestler, they'll somehow get him demasked, and that's how he'll start. This boy will defend his honor or something stupid like that.
Dominic sure doesn't look like he's got it. I mean, I haven't seen a match, so fair. I got to be fair. But Dominic, I don't know.
Hey, at least
Maybe
he's bigger than his dad.
Block. It's a lot bigger than his dad. Dominic's not going to be a 205 Live performer.
Thank God, I may actually watch him.
but to that
what
point,
if he brings back Filthy Animals 2.0?
If Conan's there, I'll let it all go. If he finds a way to bring Conan in WWE, Oi Love Olay, Bowdy. You know what? I have to tell you, I love that. Do you guys remember when Disco Inferno did his impression and he was like standing in front of the video doing his dancing, singing his own version? That was the most hysterical I've ever seen Disco Inferno.
Inferno. He did have some moments. He had a lot of fucking bad moments, but he did occasionally have a moment of brilliance. Like I said, a lot of bad shit.
Brilliance is stretching it, Dan.
He had a few moments.
Armstrong.
Yeah, well.
So you can see some good moments. Moments of brilliance. Dan is easy to please.
You remember when he won the TV title off of Alex Wright, Das Wonder Kid? That was pretty cool.
I wouldn't call it brilliant, but
it was unexpected, and it was actually a pretty decent match. He wasn't a bad worker. Disco was fine. I know you like Sex from Sports Entertainment Extreme from the TNA days, Todd. That's your favorite. Glenn Gilberti used his real name.
Yes.
See, guys, we give you a history lesson here. WCW, TNA, you got a little bit of everything. All right. Where was it?
I just wanted to find out if we could get back to what we were originally talking about, because I figured out what it is. I'm going to see if you guys can remember.
We were originally talking about knit caps.
No, before we went on to Sports Illustrated Extreme.
Rey Mysterio.
We went
Sports Entertainment Extreme. Do not remember, Ozzy? Come on, get it right.
I've had
you said like Dan.
Have we not? We've discussed this.
Don't use that as your
I
crutch.
don't even remember what happened 5 minutes ago.
Calm down, Benoit.
We were on Mysterio and Andrade.
See, I shouldn't say that because Ozzy's just going to go Benoit on us one day.
That's rough. That is rough.
Maybe, but you got to build to it. It's got to be at Hellbound, and he's got to hit you, Todd, with like a big German. It'll be just like boom, the place will explode. Can take out Caesar first, and yeah, it'll be big. Just suplexes for everybody. I want to see that.
Anyway,
I want to see him. Yeah. Anyway, where were we?
Back on track.
Right. Raw and SmackDown. Now, I'm surprised. I'm not surprised, but I actually thought one thing that bugged me a lot on Raw, the last Raw, and it seems like everybody kind of gave it a pass, but the 24/7 title, I think we can all agree, it's been pretty funny for the most part. It's done its job. R-Truth probably one of the best comedic talents of the last 20 years at this point. I got to give him a lot of credit. So they had a good thing going with Maria and Mike, and I felt like that still had some build, which has also been built on 205 Live, by the way. I don't like the idea that he already basically grew a set and pinned her. I felt like that needed to be built to more. His moment of disobedience to Maria. That actually bugged me, but I haven't heard anybody really complain about it, because I felt like that should have been built up a little bit more. I know Mike Kanellis is doing the cuck gimmick, so he's probably never going to be a huge star, but they've been fun. Did any of you guys have an issue with that? I just felt like, shouldn't have done it. I want Snitsky to pin Maria. That's my issue. Maybe it's just that. Dr. Snitsky, that would have given Raw a 10
Dr. Snitsky?
out of 10.
Well,
yeah.
that's what he did when he did. That's what he did when he disappeared.
Man, that is too much. That does not need to happen. Him and his weird, stupid foot gimmick.
Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah, but yes, he's Tarantino's favorite. Snitsky, say what you will about his in-ring work, pretty good heel there for a while. I mean, he shit the bed. He and Kane didn't have a good payoff, but pretty good heel. That was actually pretty entertaining. But yeah, I don't know. Did you have an issue with that? I felt like I don't know. He pinned her. He all of a sudden grew balls. I know it's a 24/7 title, but I don't know. I felt like he needed to be tortured more.
I was fine with that. It's a comedy title. Does it really matter?
I know, but they're also sort of building him up to, again, 205 Live. I don't know. Maybe it was just me then. That's why no one else complained. But all right, well, I still had to vent about it, Todd.
Okay, that's fine. Please vent.
Yeah, there you go. So the rest of we can talk a little bit about SummerSlam, the card in general. So, on paper, second biggest show. I say that because I lumped Rumble and because it's the road to WrestleMania. So, Todd, don't have your period again. Does the card measure up for the number 2 show of the year?
No.
What do you guys think? Okay. Where is it lacking for you?
I don't really care. The builds haven't really been great. I mean, there's some interesting stuff, but I mean, none of the matches like, oh shit, I can't wait to watch this. I forgot that shit was on this weekend.
You did, yes. I was gonna say that's probably not a good thing.
No, that's
although
not.
There's no excuse not to be psyched for TakeOver. TakeOver is going to be really good.
Yeah, I didn't know that was this weekend, so go figure.
Yeah, so there you go. That's been properly built too, and you forgot that too. You're just getting old, Todd.
No, I just said that. I knew that was this weekend.
Now, I know. Now, this is one. Now, I complained when they first started this feud, but Becky and Natalya, now a submission match. You know how I don't want to put the belt on Natalya, but wouldn't it be kind of cool if they sort of made this the Bret Austin moment for Becky and had her like just pass out to the sharpshooter, pull of blood? I know they don't. It's unlikely to do blood, but maybe Heyman will bring it back. Could they salvage this? Because it hasn't been a terrible build, and everybody expects Natalya to lose. So could they pull a little shocker there? Just let her hold it for a month or two before Becky gets it back? I don't hate this idea.
I don't love it, so I don't. Could they? Yeah. Should they? I don't think so.
It's a shock though that could make sense. Becky and Seth did each other no favors having that love storyline. That really hurt Seth bad. And I love Seth. I mean, he's definitely a top 5 in the entire world right now. But in ring. But I think it hurt them both. I think it would be really wise for both of them to come out of SummerSlam looking like badasses. Yeah, again, Natalya, I don't really want to see a long reign, but having her take it off of her some badass way, using that match as a model between Brett and Austin, of course, one of the best Mania matches ever. I kind of like it. I just feel like that's the issue. Again, this pay-per-view on paper is very, very predictable. That's one area where I might do a little bit of a shock, but maybe that's just me. Ozzy, what do you think? I don't know if you're... Okay, Zion is... Okay, he had to grab something.
What? What? What's going on?
Oh, you're here. Okay.
I am here.
I thought maybe you had to grab something real quick. So, all right, you already
maybe your
grabbed it,
winter hat's too tight.
It might be. It's a good winter hat. It does its job. I'm going to take it off now 'cause it's getting hot. All right, what do you think, Ozzy? Where would you what would you do on SummerSlam to kind of make it buzzworthy coming out of it? Because on paper, most of these matches are pretty easy to call. I kind of like my idea, but I don't know.
That's rough. It's like you gave me Play-Doh and you asked me to make a flower, because I'm not that talented.
Yeah,
well, I will say this. How about you do title changes at the fucking pay-per-view? I mean, yeah. So, okay, on paper, right, the Iconics were the longest reigning women's tag team champions, in history, whatever, and you let that go on Raw before SummerSlam? Like, the Raw before SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Come on.
And it had build. Iconics and Kabuki Warriors has had, what now, a couple months worth of build? I know they haven't been on TV every week, but that is a feud that's gone way back.
Yeah, but if they haven't been on TV, does the feud really matter?
Say that again, Todd?
If the feud's not on TV, does it really matter?
But it has been. It's just been sporadic.
When they popped up last week, or this week was it? I was like, oh shit, yeah, I forgot about this.
Negative Todd. But no, I mean, it was good that they got a good showcase. Like, I have no issues with, Aleister Black and Sami Zayn on SmackDown. That really had no build. That was an open challenge. All right, we don't need to make this pay-per-view 8 hours, which is something, again, I'm hopeful. Maybe that could be a Heyman influence. Maybe even Bischoff. I don't know. WCW never ran 8-hour pay-per-views. They always came in at 3 hours or less.
No, well, don't forget
never
Halloween
more than 3.
Really? Ever? Never,
Not
ever,
counting, kickoff. I don't think WCW
really. You do
ever
not
went
remember?
over 3.
You do not remember the Halloween Havoc, the notorious one that ran 4 hours because they didn't know how to manage their time, and they had to refund it, and then they had to play the match on Nitro because no one got to see it. Halloween Havoc.
4 hours though. I feel like you're exaggerating. I remember maybe that lost. Yeah, they went over the TV time.
No, it was 3:38 if I'm being honest.
All right.
You're
well,
never on it.
But...
Shut up, Ozzy.
3:38 is, I'd take that. I would take that. I'm just saying, WCW pay-per-views didn't feel like they lasted the entire day.
It was Halloween 1998, It cut off. I'm trying to see if we can find the runtime. WCW ran Halloween Havoc 1998 to 3.5 hours rather than the standard 3. Due to this, many pay-per-view feeds ended while the main event, Goldberg vs. Diamond Dallas Page, was still underway. WCW aired the match the following night for free on Nitro.
Which ironically was, if I recall, one of Goldberg's more passable matches. At least one of his with DDP. It's considered one of his better matches.
And I honestly think it cut off. Yeah. I think it actually cut off during Hogan Warrior.
Oh, well, that might be a good thing.
Yeah.
That was probably a blessing.
Sorry, Ozzy's pulling at his hair because we're sidetracking. Sorry.
Back on the talk about wrestling. And
it would just seem odd for me to believe that the feed would cut out during a Warrior match because he had all the powers of the universe powering. You know.
Yes.
So,
I remember this because I called
we can get back on track.
Well, no, because I'm just going to finish. I called and bitched to the cable company, so they turned on the replay for free, and then the replay cut off even more because it was like an hour behind at this point. So then I was like, you know what, fuck it. They refunded me, and then I just ordered the movie that was on after for like $4, and I got to see the main event because it screwed up their entire schedule. I watched my goddamn Goldberg versus DDP the night it happened.
There you go. You were one of the few. And it was actually a decent Goldberg match. There's not
I was
many,
probably hammered by the time it did because that was 3 extra hours of drinking. So, do I remember it? Nah.
That's why you used to like things, Todd.
I know.
Straight edge Todd. Just negative.
Yep. Well, no. He's honest, right, Ozzy?
There you go.
So, all right, well.
At least I'm not always angry like Ozzy.
You're grumpy, Todd. You're like getting old.
I'm
not
persistent.
Always yelling, but you're persistent. Persistently a dick.
If that's what you want to call it, cool.
So, one thing that I am happy about also is the OC being booked strong. I hope they keep that up. I actually liked, kind of subtle, but Gallows going back to his New Japan look. It kind of feels like they're actually taking them seriously now. They booked them really strong in that 6-man. So kudos there. Like I said,
there you go. I like something.
You like that, right?
I do. I hate the name though.
The OC, or I think it's clever. It's a clever little shot at.
I
you don't like OC, Todd?
No, it's the show. Like I think the OC. I mean, at least people around my age are just gonna remember the TV show. You know, I never fucking watched it. I remember it being a thing. So like,
where's Melinda Clark?
I'm like, get the fuck out of here. We heard enough about the OC. We don't need to hear about it some more. I live in Orange County, and I'm not too particularly fond of the area where the show was at.
And you know that was actually shot in Laguna Beach, but that's a whole other thing. It was shot in L.A. County. And here's the other thing. That's always drove me insane.
Todd's
people in Orange County
about this for 15 minutes.
People in Orange County don't say, I live in the OC, because that's just stupid.
There you go. Like Cali.
Yeah.
Makes me want to vomit. I hate Cali.
I live in Cali in the OC. That's going to get you punched in the face.
Those are the exact combinations of words that create nausea within my body. Now that we're done discussing that terminology.
Todd, I'm going to WWE shop and I'm getting an OC shirt. And then I'm also going to try and find something from the OC TV show to wear down there just to irk you now, Todd.
Unless
you
can
I'm
bring
gonna
Melinda
puke in
Clark.
your hat.
Well, you're gonna go for the money?
I'm puking in his hat if I see that shit.
Only if I can be in the background like Vince McMahon. He's gonna puke. He's got a appeal.
Hey, got a appeal.
It
now
has
I'm
a
looking
tie.
forward to that.
I can get it off my head. Fucking tie.
But just don't end up in a chair after.
All right, Todd. That's dark, Todd. I'm the one that makes like insensitive jokes like that. But all right, Todd is the heel tonight. Todd is the mega heel. All right. Well, we got to talk about this. How do you book? This is weird because on paper, Brock just needs to drop that goddamn belt. What should happen in the main event? I mean, for you guys, it's just I'm so tired of Brock. I know Seth has faltered a little bit since that stupid Becky stuff. But goddamn, I just don't want Brock to hold that thing for another. Survivor Series at least, probably the Rumble. It's going to close out the year, I think, if he gets past SummerSlam. What do you guys think? What do you do, Ozzy?
What would I do?
Yeah, who do you have go over? Because I'm just tired of Brock.
But what other options are there at the moment? They haven't really built anybody else other than Seth and Brock. Who else legitimately you think could come in there and be like, maybe Roman, but yeah, people aren't going to be too kind about that. You know what I mean? They haven't invested much.
I put it on
check
Bray.
this shit out. Here you go. This is what I would fucking do. All right? And I'm kind of pissed because I know it won't happen. Right? So you have Dolph take out Goldberg. You have Dolph take out Shawn Michaels. You have Dolph take out one other legend. And you have Dolph Ziggler take out Brock Lesnar and become Universal Champion. That would bring him back, in my opinion.
If it had, they would never let. hey, I'm down for that. That would actually be pretty cool. I don't think they'd ever give Dolph a clean win over Brock, but wouldn't it be cool? He's picking Brock for the F5 for the finish, and all of a sudden Vicky Guerrero jumps the guardrail, maces Paul Heyman in the face, distracts Brock, finish, boom, Dolph gets the pin. Was Dolph ever better than when he was with Vicky Guerrero? Because that was gold. That was a gold act on SmackDown.
Yeah.
There you go. I will add that onto your brilliant booking, Ozzy, and I would be totally cool with that all the way. So, yeah. Huh. I like that. Why not? Surprising, breaks up the monotony. But more likely, I would say I'd like to see that belt on Bray. I'm just so far so good. The Fiends, I think he needs to stop just laying out legends, but I'm still hopeful that that's going to work this time. And I'd say have Steph get the clean win over Brock, then Bray can get it soon, because I actually think he's going to be hotter than Steph at this point. Yeah. So that's my booking for that. I don't know. You think that there's any chance that just to do it, they're going to have Orton get the belt again? It makes no sense, but it's Orton.
Oh, gross.
I feel like they might.
I just want to see it so Dane goes crazy. I just like watching people get all frustrated.
You're just like that South Park skit, Todd, when they take away channels on DirecTV, and when they call and complain, the dude's tweaking his nipples. That's Todd. Just, if we do it, will it make you upset? Tweak the nipple. That's Todd. Todd's an asshole. He's just, yeah. You should have been a team with Mr. Kennedy, Todd.
That offends me because I'm more like Statler and Wardoff. Thank you. Sorry, it took me a minute.
All right, Todd.
If you don't get the reference, that means the old guy's on the Muppets.
I get the reference.
I was telling Dan.
Okay, Todd. Okay.
Dan just
Calm
knows
down,
Beaker.
Todd. I was never a Muppet guy, Todd. It's always been wrestling and horror movies. I skipped that's always what it's been. All right. So, one thing that we can be positive about is NXT TakeOver Toronto. Once again, I am way more looking forward to that card than SummerSlam. It's a damn good card. Do you think we're going to finally see Shayna drop the belt? Because I still feel like Candice should eventually do that, but everybody's saying Mia's going to take her down so they can give Becky a legit threat. Todd?
Can we rewind there? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about this. Who's Baszler going up against?
Mia Yim.
Right.
That doesn't sound enthusiastic. Not a fan?
I mean, granted, I haven't had an opportunity to catch up on NXT, so maybe I'm missing something. But, I mean, initially, maybe, but I do agree that Baszler does need to come up because her kind of heelish presence is desperately needed. I believe.
Mm-hmm. She's probably the only person you could really, maybe a couple other ladies too, because the women's division in NXT is pretty stacked. But yeah, it really would, because Becky right now, there's just not a lot of great heels to work with right now. I mean, Ruby's injured. I mean, there's possibilities.
And Lacey Evans is Lacey Evans.
Yeah, have you noticed? No Corbin, no Lacey lately. So
they were both in the car that was trying to hit Roman. In fact, what happened is Lacey could have potentially been performing third base, oral issue thing, or maybe could have been reversed. Maybe she could have been driving, and he could have been down there. And the real reason hit the car is because one of them was finishing. So that
is horrible. That's horrible. It was just because Lacey was driving. Women.
No. If Vince is booking it, it needs to be Funaki. That's who should have been.
Well, I'm gonna laugh when it's Rikishi coming back to finish the job.
Oh God.
I did it for the people.
No, I don't. You know why I don't want that, Todd? I want this whole angle to lead to the reformation of the Samoan SWAT team, Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns. Would that not be pretty cool?
He's from the wrong island, so.
It can still be the Samoan SWAT team, Todd. Don't piss on this. They don't all have to be related.
Yeah, they do. He's like the only one in wrestling not related. He's like the black sheep.
Hey, okay, so check this out. I would only be cool with that happening. Okay, maybe I'm a little exaggerating. I'd be cool with that, but what I would maybe do as an alternate, to kind of push them more together, is the people who are in the car, the people who have been trying to take out Roman Reigns, are Jack Swagger and Zed Coulter.
Wow.
There you go. There you go.
Yep, let's do that.
Hey, it'd be a surprise. I just think it should be a surprise. I don't think it has to be Daniel Bryan or Rowan. I mean, nothing against that. I mean, shit. Roman probably had some of his best matches against Bryan, but
it's cancer come to life. That's a new character.
What? Just like God?
No, the first name would need to be Luke.
Luke Cancer. We're just gonna do old school Luke.
Hey, you brought it up. You brought it up.
Luke C. Kemia.
An alley-oop. An alley-oop. And no, it wouldn't be. It would be Luke E. Mia.
Oh. There you go.
There you go.
Come on.
I know.
Yes. Make wrestling tasteless again. 2020. All right.
But then Ozzy's going to get mad.
Yeah.
Because it's not what Cornette would like.
What did I just suggest? What the fuck
I know.
did I just suggest?
How come that's okay? You're such a double standard.
I'm totally a double standard.
God damn it, Ozzy. Just threw me off. Okay, Dan, what's our next topic?
We'll move
Your
on.
frustration gives me energy.
I know TakeOver is just awesome no matter what, so there's always less to say about it. But yeah, I am very much
Dan,
looking
you
forward
just
to
jinxed
it.
it. This is going to be the one that's not now.
Has there ever been a
Nope.
TakeOver that has been disappointing ever
Nope.
since the beginning? That's a streak there. Just works. It's a working formula. All right. So this was we were kind of going to debut this week, new What If segment. I thought it was interesting. Somebody suggested it, and kind of what if, changing history basically. We had a couple that I thought were interesting for this week. All right, what if injury didn't force HBK to retire after WrestleMania 14? And how would his continued presence have changed the Attitude Era and altered the paths of its stars? All right, so obviously Shawn eventually came back, but the Attitude Era was gone at that point. So how would it have affected things? Now, of course, Shawn was still very much a politicking asshole with a ton of influence over Vince. It's been said nobody has had the ear of Vince, save for maybe Hogan, than Shawn Michaels. How would it have changed anything? I mean, Austin, Foley, Rock, Triple H. Who would have been in?
I honestly think. I honestly think that Vince was smart enough to see the other people and try to push them. Shawn getting frustrated and finally making the jump. I think he would have ended up in WCW with Hall and Nash.
Ah, interesting.
That's what I think.
I don't know what his contract situation was then, but yeah, would imagine he's probably getting up there. I think Triple H would have been the one to suffer the most because back then Vince didn't see the big deal, which was odd. But for some reason he didn't see it. I don't think anything could have stopped the Austin train. I don't think
that's why I think Shawn would have got frustrated. You heard his hippie fit he was leaving after WrestleMania 14 during Austin's press conference.
You actually gave a good answer there, Todd. I could very easily have seen Shawn going to WCW, but probably being just as frustrated. So
yeah, but I still see him getting used better than Brett because who his friends were.
That is true. Yeah. No, I agree. It would have been interesting to see how they would have handled the Bret Hart feud. But Ozzy, what do you think? What would it have changed?
I think it would have probably given the upswing back to WCW, if you think about it, because if things went in the same trajectory, would you think Vince Russo would have left and still gone to WCW?
Yeah, because he still would have been frustrated with the writing schedule.
Then you have, here's the thing. Here's my point, is that WCW proved that they were completely fine going as raunchy as possible, and it didn't happen any better than when Shawn Michaels was doing it in the WWF. That basically made it okay for Austin to be swigging or slush and beer all around is because we were used to that kind of just behavior from wrestlers that really started from Shawn Michaels. So he would have brought that kind of attitude, no pun intended, to WCW, and I think they would have at least lasted more than they did because they would have put the title on Shawn for a long time, and Shawn as a heel champion is money.
The only
how he wasn't injured and could still perform? Dude, come on.
The only problem with that theory is standards and practice. That was always an issue. They wouldn't let him do certain things. Kind of killed the Sandman.
Okay. Shawn Michaels versus Sting.
Oh yeah,
think about that. That would have, because the thing about the Attitude Era is there was the attitude where the gimmicks happened, but it also made it cool for two giant personalities when they would clash. So two larger than life icons, both of them. That would be insane.
But hopefully they handle it better than Hogan and Sting.
Well, HBK could have a good match or even a great match with just about anyone. I mean, that's why you can make a case for him as the best of all time. I mean, I don't think the guy ever had a bad match. I mean, honestly, he could make anyone look good. Obviously, the ego issue, though, is what's going to be tough because Hogan, it would have been interesting to see what would have happened, those egos together in WCW. Because, again, Shawn, Shawn was a piece of shit at that time, even by his own admission. I mean, he was a piece of shit. That would have been really interesting to see those two. And Hogan Bischoff.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think with his boys, it would have been okay. Because Hogan's also smart enough to latch on to people that can, same way he did at NWO, that can make an impact. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting to think
let me throw another twist in here, because I think I see something that would happen as well. If that kind of power structure was forming in WCW, how long do you think Brett would stand for it before he just left? Brett wouldn't want to be around that again.
Yeah. He made a jump.
At that point, let's say he leaves, and what if there could have been some sort of Vince saying to Brett privately, hey, listen, you're right, Shawn was an asshole, I shouldn't have done that to you, come on back. Would Brett have avoided the match with Goldberg that gave him that concussion and essentially ended his career? And then would we have seen Bret Hart versus Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 21?
Wow, you're butterfly effect.
Or then Bret Hart coming back and getting revenge on Triple H. Man.
But wait,
happen.
I got another wrinkle. Okay, so Shawn went there and everything was going well. So would X-Pac have stayed? Probably. So then, if Brett stays, is Triple H going to get the spotlight shined on him or get frustrated and jump to, and then you'd have the entire clique in WCW.
But then they would be in charge.
They would be.
And that would be, don't you think that would be a problem? It would just what created its demise would still have happened because they would have given these guys all the power, right?
Exactly.
So then
there's no saving WCW.
Then the New Age Outlaws don't even have their. The New Age Outlaws are another tag team separate of DX, obviously.
Yeah.
But
very over.
They would.
And then, would Triple H be frustrated? I don't know, because here's the thing. I think if Brett were to come back and had the feud with Triple H, and Brett saying, I want revenge or whatever, Brett could bring out the best in Triple H.
But if Vince didn't see anything in Triple H and Shawn left, he'd be back fucking doing hobslop matches with fucking Phineas.
Okay, fair point. So Triple H leaves. Then you have Brett restart his feud with Austin upon his return.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That would be sweet.
I loved Brett, but do you think? I mean,
and Owen would still be alive.
Really? Well, no, I wasn't going there, Todd. But
it's true. Because Brett would have been like, no. It's true though. Brett would have been like, no, you don't want to do that. Don't do that shit. And told Vince he's not doing that shit.
Probably.
He did.
Yeah,
I think he admitted that, saying like, I wouldn't have let Owen go through with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did.
Do you? Of course, Brett left in '97, where things were getting adult. Do you think he would have sort of fallen by the way? I mean, he's a very old school guy. Do you think he would have maybe fallen below a Triple H just simply because? I don't know. Would Vince have said, I don't know if he's hip anymore. You know what I mean? I don't know if he'll connect. I mean, one of the greatest of all times. But you know what I mean? Like, Brett was...
He was connecting
very,
with the Hart Foundation.
Huh?
Yep.
He was connecting with the Hart Foundation.
He was. I just wonder... I don't know if Brett would have been the one staying that would have, killed the rise of a Triple H. Sean staying might have, and it might have. Maybe it would have taken him another few years than it did for him to be a star. But this is interesting. Alternate history. We can call it butterfly effect. I actually like that better now that you said it, Todd. But yeah, what would the WCW HBK Hogan match look like?
God damn it, Dan! I'm going to smack you in the face now.
What?
You called it the WCW. The World Championship Wrestling.
All right, WCW, Todd. God,
Thank you.
You're OCD as fuck. WCW. What would their match between HBK and Hogan have looked like when, Hogan basically said, I'm going over? Because we all saw how that went. The return of asshole HBK. We got it for one night only. What would that match have looked like?
Well, would we have had that match?
Oh, you would have had that match in WCW, absolutely. It's Hogan. Hogan was going to be at the top of the card no matter what. It wouldn't have mattered who went to WCW.
Not if they do the screw job to Hogan.
Yeah. Russo's not going to let that happen. See, if Russo has Sean instead of Jared, I think Jared's the one who gets the shaft. And then he stays in WCW, then he goes back to WWE, never leaves, TNA never starts, and damn, whole different business.
Well, Jarrett would have been screwed, I think, with any of them. If Brad had stuck around, if Sean had made the jump, Jarrett wouldn't have had his ascent in WCW. They might have brought in the roadie, and he would have just been like the U.S. champ. That's as far as he goes.
The roadie.
Literally, that's how it would have gone. Roadie would have gotten a deal. Roadie would have never.
Well,
he would be remembered as
at this point, the Outlaws were. At this point, the Outlaws were already over. So they'd still already be a team.
Yeah, that's true. All right, fair enough.
So don't roadie him up.
How far they would have gone. All right.
I still think they'd have great feuds. The great feuds with the Dudley Boys and other stuff. Okay. You could also do.
Remembered.
I think so, but that's my opinion. What about you, Ozzy?
Yeah, it's debatable.
Did you ever disappear, Ozzy? I never heard you disappear.
I never disappear.
He was stealthy.
I've tried, and it hasn't worked.
Good debate, but I will say, Sting, HBK, oh, God, that would have been special. Yep. Holy shit. In their prime, you could even argue maybe a couple years before then. That would have been proper build. That would have been like some of the best matches ever. And we'll never get to see it, but, oh, God, that would have been good. Anyways, so we actually have another
we can. We just need to find the Infinity Stones.
There you go.
They've already been destroyed. Come on, Ozzy, keep up.
That's what they want you to believe.
Okay. Hey,
That
Ozzy,
would be at the.
are you in October when they do the fan event? Can we go see Jay and Silent Bob reboot together? I want to feel like a celebrity.
Damn it, you son of a bitch. Fuck
Dress
you.
up. Dress up, Todd.
Can you get us on the red carpet?
No. No, God. It's getting ridiculous.
Only if Bob shows up and just starts doing the fuck, motherfucker, fuck song while you're just like dancing in line, Todd. It's got to happen.
That's not even close. I'm sorry.
I know. I caught that
I
too.
think what you're referring to is the fuck, motherfuck, motherfuck,
right.
noise. That's how it starts. I don't want to do the whole thing because it takes a little bit, and that's not my thing. God damn it!
I can't sing, and it's been a while. I apologize, but I try. Anyways, all right. So we actually have another what-if question, and we don't have to be funny about this. I think it's actually fascinating when you think about it. What if Chris Benoit had lived and was put on trial for the murders? How would that have affected WWE? Certainly they were affected by it irregardless, but if you had a trial that obviously would have lasted a long time, how would that have affected them? Could it really have sunk them? I mean,
I don't think that's fair to bring up, or not bring up, but rather it's not fair to say that he would go on trial because the cause of the crime also was the cause of his suicide. So if you're taking away his suicide, you have to take away the murder. And I think really what we should discuss is what would have happened if Chris Benoit didn't go through that, and how would things have continued. That would be, I think, a better discussion. But, I mean, we could go
hit
that
them all.
but
Why
I
not?
think it's obvious that they would just cut ties, and that would be that. And it would just be a black eye in the industry and, whatever. But I think it'd be more
I think it's fair
beneficial conversation to go, what would happen if he were still alive and didn't go through all that and continue
Well, I
with
will
his
answer
career.
that, though. I don't think he would have still been alive. That head trauma, I mean, I think Benoit would have just died based on the shape that they said he was in. I mean, maybe it would have been a couple of years, maybe it would have been a few, but I don't think he would be here over a decade later. I mean, it just wouldn't.
But I think the point of this segment is that we're taking away injury here to a degree, right? Because Sean had his injury, so let's say Benoit didn't have his head injury.
Sure.
And let's say he continued wrestling. What would happen? Who would he feud with? You know what I mean? We could do this with everybody.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But I think it should be about the product. Because, I mean,
Okay.
Otherwise,
right,
it's just a counter.
I think really because a part of this also was what if he had wrestled CM Punk and that match happened, so that can also kind of factored into it. But all right, yeah. Well, assuming that didn't happen, he got help, whatever, however you want to alter that. The murders didn't happen. All right, where do you think Benoit would have gone? I mean, we know he was going to win the ECW title that night, but Ozzy, where do you think he would have gone? You think Benoit still had some big moments left in him, or?
Yeah, definitely. It would have been a few more years, and he would have had a huge feud with Kurt Angle over that ECW title, because Kurt Angle was part of ECW as well.
So now Kurt doesn't quit?
For the time that Kurt Angle was in ECW, him and Benoit would have feuded for the title.
Yeah, definitely.
That's my
where they
point.
would have gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe he wouldn't have got frustrated and wouldn't have left. Yeah, but he wouldn't have got the help. That was the issue.
Kurt would have Kurt could have been another tragedy if he didn't leave, but
he kind of was
no,
for a few years. He was Mr. fucking
still
drunken
was.
high with Twittering.
But he wasn't working the same schedule, though, too. You got to factor that
is
in.
true.
At least TNA. I mean, I think it's the schedule on top of it. You know, you can be a bit of a screw-up, but if you're not, 300-plus days a year on the road, that is an added stressor to what you're going through. Do you think it would have altered ECW at all? Could Benoit have still had enough juice that Vince might have looked at it and said, you know what, this show's doing okay. Let's keep rolling a little bit. Let's not give up.
It's possible. I mean, NXT is what ECW should have became, and was kind of the original plan. But then Vince got involved, and we got what we got. So,
yeah, that would have been interesting. I do recall. I mean, Benoit was still going hard, but towards the very end, I seem to recall, like, just a little, like, I don't want to say he lost a big step, but right before he died, I do feel like maybe it was starting to show a little bit. I mean, I think his last couple matches were like Mr. Kennedy and like Elijah Burke, stuff that was probably never going to be a classic, but I think they were starting to use him a little bit differently, but I don't know. He's an interesting one. I mean, I love his work. I mean, my God, you cannot deny, regardless of what happened, that Chris Benoit is one of the all-time best in the ring. But yeah, we should have said what would have happened if the Taskmaster got a flat tire that day. That would have also worked.
I just got to know, what if he would have went to Marie Callender's instead of Twitter's, maybe instead of Kino's? Maybe that shit would be still open. But Ozzy had to go and fuck it up.
How dare you blame that on me?
Yeah, okay.
It was one time.
I'm just torturing Ozzy. Sorry. Back to business.
Back to business. Maybe we'll do Kurt Angle on a future segment. I don't know if he's as interesting because I think everybody loved Angle, so I don't think it would have really have changed much. But yeah, especially since they weren't making a lot of stars around that time. Really, I mean, Cena and Batista were already, and Orton were already kind of there, and yeah, that was a weird time. I mean, they were like Kennedy, MVP, Carlito. It's like none of them really actually became big stars. So I don't know if Angle would have hurt anything. Maybe it could have made one of them a star. I don't know. All right, what to talk about next? All right. Oh, this. I don't know if there's much to talk about here, but we have to bring it up. Billy Corgan has announced a weekly NWA TV series that is going to be taping here in Atlanta. I don't have the date in front of me, but I believe it's supposed to be in October as well. Could be wrong on that, so don't hold me to it. We talked a little bit about NWA recently. Hey, I may go check it out because I'm pretty sure where these are going to be held, which is where I saw my last Ring of Honor show, and also where they taped WCW Saturday Night. I'm almost positive it's going to be there.
What is that, Center Stage Arena or something like that?
Center Stage, yeah. I was spacing on the name. Yeah, I would bet money that that's where it's going to be. It's a historic arena. I mean, Cody was genuinely moved to be there at the last ROH show I attended. Hey, I like Corgan. I think he's got a good mind for wrestling. If I go, we will definitely talk NWA. It's not your NWA, Todd, but, it's still legacy. Dan the Beast motherfucking Severin. He better be there.
God.
Wild card. Well, it's not a wild card. It's wrestling. I just wanted to bring that up there because, we're all about alternatives and, hey, some old school wrestling. I'm kind of curious with Corgan, though. That's the thing. Like, what is his modern vision of NWA going to look like? And I'm kind of curious the nature of any TV deal he might have. But speaking of other companies, AEW All Out. Before we get into it, I should say, are you guys going to pay to order it again? Are you still on the AEW trip?
I'm sure we'll watch it.
Okay. Because it's $50, so you certainly.
It's $50 again? God damn it!
I'm just assuming.
Oh, I don't think it's going to be $50. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's any way in hell they're going to do that again. I thought it was confirmed.
It did fairly well. I don't think I've heard anything about the price point, but I mean it's going to be at least $30, I think. Weren't the because you've ordered it since I have, weren't the Impact pay-per-views? What were the price points on them? Like Slammiversary, do you remember?
The last ones were up to like $50.
Oh, really? Well, fuck.
Yeah.
If Impact's charging $50, I mean,
they're not now.
AEW?
They're not now.
Well, I wouldn't think so. Wouldn't you love to see the numbers on that? At
$35.
$50, I mean, how many? You're not saying 35,000, I take it.
No.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty low. I thought they were like 20 or 30 at this point. Wow, okay. I did not order the last one. I'm behind on Impact, I'll admit it. All right, so AEW All Out. They just announced the All Out Women's Battle Royal, which I think is going to be pretty cool. Jazz is coming back. That'll be interesting. Not that she ever left, but a lot of the names we've already seen. Jazz. That is actually going to be really cool. I want to say they announced cheerleader Melissa, but I'm not seeing that on the lineup, so maybe I imagined that. Leva Bates is coming back. Hikaru Shida. I'm hoping there's some big surprise there. The winner gets a title match. So I'm kind of curious right now, like big female free agents that they might have for that one. But running down some of the other card, we haven't talked about this much yet, and we did say we're going to do some AEW, so it's not just the WWE podcast. Who's the first champ, Jericho or Paige?
Paige.
You think that's a sure thing?
No, but that's what I think.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm for sure on that.
I'm going to be the odd man out and say Jericho. Some reason, I just think that they're going into that TV deal. Paige is definitely going to hold that belt at some point, but
they already have the TV deal, and they're paying for it. It's not like the network has anything to do with it. They're paying. This is syndication.
Sure.
The network has no clue. No, they're not going to be like, oh, you're paying us to be on our network. You also have to do this. That shit don't happen.
But here's the thing: perception is everything. If AEW debuts and the ratings are in the toilet, fans start to turn. You know how people are. Like after a while, nobody would give TNA a chance. It's perception. So, I mean, I can't say ratings don't matter, Todd. I think they do for them. And I think that's why they might put it on Jericho first. I'm not saying that's the move I would make. I have a feeling. I don't know. We'll see. But it is a pretty good card. AAA tag titles, Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks in a ladder match. That should be pretty crazy. Cody and Sean Spears with Tully Blanchard in Spears' corner. That'll be cool. I'm kind of curious what Tessa Blanchard's contract situation with TNA is right now, because she's one I know they're going to both go for hard when she's done. Best Friends versus the Dark Order. Joey Janela versus Jimmy Havoc versus Darby Allin. And Kenny Omega, John Moxley. I'm more excited for the top part of the card than the other half, but I'd say I'm going to get my $50 worth. I think I'll order it, and we'll talk about it. So what do you guys think? Is that going to I'm not even going to bring it. Oh, well, there are other matches, but I don't think I'll even bring up CM Punk again. I don't think it's going to happen, but who knows? I think when we stop talking about it, it'll happen. And I am excited for Awesome Kong versus Aja Kong. I think that's going to be a good time. All right. It said we talk about it, so we had to throw it out there. All right. One thing we do have to talk about, though, and I'm kicking myself that I didn't bring it up at the start of the show. Rest in peace, Harley Race. A true legend. I know he's a little bit before my time in a way, but I did really, I loved his run with Vader. He was a guy who continued to inspire a lot of guys. He's one out. I don't feel like he gets the credit that he really deserves. I know he touched a lot of careers, and what's your earliest Harley Race memories, Todd? You're the old man amongst us, so you remember a little more.
My earliest are King Harley Race. That's where the first time I saw him.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Good worker. I mean, it wasn't until I got older I really appreciated him.
Yeah. Oh, he was a great worker. Yeah, for his time.
No, yeah. Again, it's not something I really appreciated until I got older. But yeah, definite legend.
Yeah. I remember him still getting the shit kicked out of him by Sting during that epic series of matches he had with Vader. That was, growing up, that was probably one of my favorite feuds. I was a big Vader and Sting guy. He will be missed. I'm glad he got the video package. I mean, I know.
You knew there was no way
like
that wasn't happening.
Well, they opened it with the shooting, so I was like, are they just going to do a graphic for Harley Race? Because, Harley Race, that's a big impact. Huge impact in the world of professional wrestling. He wasn't just some scrub. Harley Race was the man. I was glad we got it later in the show. I actually probably would have bitched more about Raw just out of spite if they didn't. Well, that's all I have. Unless I missed anything, guys, because I know there's something you want to talk about.
No, he gives us 5 minutes at the end. That's nice.
Well, you have more than that. There is an overrun, Todd. We could go 2 hours if we wanted to.
No, we can't. But... Oh, okay, well. I think
Hot tag.
Oh no,
Hot tag to the hot action that's going to be happening this Saturday in Long Beach at the Metroplex Sports Complex for Assault on 59th Street. It's going to be a huge night. We have 2 titles that are on the line. But let's just go over the whole card. I mean, I know you gave us a little bit of time, but hey, it's going to be cool.
Yes.
So we're going to have a number 1 contender match for the UITV title between Daniel Moon and Snipes. Now, Dan, not sure if you remember, but Pledge Your Allegiance in the 6-man elimination captain's party match, after Daniel Moon was eliminated, he remained in the vicinity of the ring and then caused Snipes to be distracted, which gave Guy Cool the advantage. So now this number 1 contender match has been made. And the winner will get a shot at Guy Cool for the UITV title. Also, Sean Black, with his new fuck the world attitude, is going to be taking on one-half former tag team champions and Tony Raves. And Chaz, Uncle Chaz, didn't get his wish in a match with PBA, but he's going to have his hands full with the urban gladiator, Jay Washington. Jay Washington, sour from his loss at Pledge Your Allegiance. He's got to prove himself to the underground. So Chaz is going to have his hands full there. Red Bat is going to be taking on one-half of the UEW Tag Team Champions, beautiful Jimmy Mayhem. And then in the main event, actually, I'm sorry, the first of the 2 title defenses will be for the UEW Eastern Pacific Championship when the California Black Sheep Mike Rain defends his title against the PBA. PBA finally getting the title shot that he had been due for the past couple of months. And in the main event, Homeless Jimmy will be taking on Sin, and the winner gets, or rather becomes, the new Underground Empire Wrestling heavyweight champion now that the title is vacant.
Yes. Yes, that's going to be a hell of a main event. I really well, it's going to be a hell of a card, period. I think this is going to be, probably the best UEW event in a very, very long time. Homeless Jimmy, man, Sin is going to be a tough mountain to climb, but I hope he finds a way. It's going to be tough, but Jimmy's a legend. Man, I'd love to see that title on him. Of course, he's never had it, and you never know if he's going to get a shot again. So that's going to be a can't miss event if you're in the California area, or if you're 1,000 miles away, it's worth coming in. You can mess with Todd too.
There are hotels in Long Beach.
There are. And you can wear your winter hat and fuck with Todd. You can't miss him. Front row all the time. Fuck with him. Everybody should wear a winter hat. Wear it.
I'm gonna wear mine.
Go,
I'm gonna wear my beanie, my ski mask beanie, just to annoy Dan. I'm gonna walk in front of the.
Hey. I'm gonna find a way. I don't care if I have to buy every winter hat that exists in California.
You're gonna
go fill that arena with winter hats.
I have no worry then, because Dan's gonna walk into the store and be like, "Let me get your winter hat." So be like, "What the fuck are you talking about, Leaf? You mean a hat? What the fuck's a winter hat?"
I guarantee I'm going to go in and they're going to know what a winter hat is, Todd. You're special.
I'm going to take you. I'm going to prove you so wrong.
I'm going to go into a store, and I'm just going to ask. You're going to keep your mouth shut, and I'm going to ask, "Hey, ma'am or sir, where are your winter hats?" And they will take me to the winter hats.
Oh.
You know, they will.
Okay.
They will.
Okay. What's the winter hat?
You don't have something planned.
Senor, what's the winter hat?
That's racist, Todd. But anyways, yes, and fleshwoundfeatures.com. Check out the Flesh Wound Dan eBay. I always appreciate your business. And, you can get all your UEW needs there as well. There you go, Todd. 12:30. We hit it on the mark, Todd.
Wow.
Ozzy got all that out like a pro in 4 minutes.
I'm sure 4 minutes is a long time for Ozzy, but I'm bummed.
Go Whoa.
Depends what you're doing.
On that note.
God!
There you go, Ozzy. We're going to close out on your team tonight.
I hate
Anything to say before we're done?
All
right, good night.
Good night.